Okay, so welcome back to Good Madies, Coins Banknotes, and yep, it's not on mute. That's not mute. Anyway, so basically we are going to talk about this £1 note from New Zealand, and I've only done one other video before about the £1 note. So we need to get lighting. So the lighting is on pretty much a yellowish colour. So we try and change it. Okay, we've got this is more like UV. Anyway, so the £1 from the country of New Zealand, issued by the Reserve Bank, and they still issue the currency. So this banknote was first printed in 1940, last printed probably 1965, but used to 1967. So it was a year later that New Zealand changed the decimal currency. And this is probably the most common banknote of pre-decimal series you're going to get. Now the other banknotes they issued was a 10 shilling, which I have. I do have one, and these are all for sale. So here's a 10 shilling, and that was equivalent to $1 New Zealand dollar. So that's the changeover rate. But this, I have made another video about the 10 shilling, and it's going to be in the New Zealand playlist. Okay, so this banknote chain took over from the Maori series. So this one has Captain James Cook, who was an British explorer, and the watermark is a Maori face. Now there are two versions of this banknote. The 1956-60, that one has no security thread, which you can see here. And from 1960-1967 they had the security thread. So this is from the later issue. And also you can tell the signatures, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. So we have the coat of arms of New Zealand, it has a Maori warrior and a British colonial. We have just lots of patterns. So this is really freaky actually. It's a Maori, probably a tiki or some type of tiki with lots of Maori designs. If anyone knows anything about these designs, please leave a comment down below. I'm pretty interested in it. And as you can see, we have a lot of Maori designs there. So a lot of this is all filled with indigenous New Zealander imagery. And in the center we have, I can't tell, but it looks like a face mask. But if we turn off the light and we get a UV lamp. Okay, where's my UV light? I'll put it somewhere. Okay, so that's just normal light. UV, as you can see, it's blue. So we have a UV feature. So this is from the 50s. So it doesn't seem to show up on this banknote. No, I don't see any. But if we turn it over, you can see the UV features that are supposed to be on this banknote. So it looks like that the 1960-67 has two different features, one with UV and one without it. So, but then you look at this numbers, the 211 is an earlier banknote than the 271. So maybe this one is just missing UV features, or maybe it's just been disappeared. So it's no longer in extant. Now what could have actually done that? I don't know, probably just a chemical process, but I don't think so because the rest of the banknotes are quite good. And on the back we have the Endeavour. So we check if the banknote printer is the same. Yes they are, Thomas de la Rue. So basically just different period. I'd just say that they've skipped printing the UV on the banknote. And this side has the coastal area of probably southern New Zealand, which is more mountainous because it's pretty much on two fault lines, the Australian plate as well as the Pacific plate. They're actually grinding past each other. And as you can see, this banknote's well circulated. Now if you wanted to purchase one of these, they used to cost about $20. You can pick them up, but lately they've been gone $30 to $40. So all the pre-decimal banknotes seem to have been increasing in value. Okay, so this is the £1 on Numistar. And as you can see, it's the base unit, so £1 equals 20 shillings, 1 shilling equals 12 pence. Issued, and it hasn't been demonetised, or maybe it has. So in Australia, the pre-decimal banknotes are still legal tender, so you can spend them. These ones, New Zealand does demonetise their currency. All the older coins are all demonetised. So here's the watermark. Nice Maori face. Doesn't say who actually issued the banknote. And a printer, Thomas D. LaRue. We've got 3 signatures, so we've got Hannah, Wilson and Fleming. The scarce one you're going to find is Wilson, because if you look here, it was only issued for 1 year, 1955-56. And the most common one you're going to get is one with the security thread. And as you can see, there's 2 with the Fleming. Here's the values of people who actually purchased it in the past. So here we have some values. So even low grade one, $28. You can 24. It's pretty. The ones I've got probably more in this grade, so between $20 and $30. And so these are all for sale. So how many of them? There's 152. So this is a pretty common banknote. So you can pick and choose whichever one you want. This is not Rhodesia Nyashialand coins of higher value, like they're 2.5 shillings, which is almost impossible to get. Okay, so for sold items, you can get pretty high grade ones for nearly $100. So $20 low grade banknote. This one low grade, yeah, $20 to $30 for the ones I have. And as you can see, they do sell. Now this one, if you've got a high grade banknote, you're probably better off getting it graded and then selling it. Then people will not argue over what grade it is. If you've got something like this, people are going to say, oh, it's this grade, but you think it's like another grade. So that one, someone might think it's fine, so another person might think it's very fine, especially if they use Australian and Sheldon scale of grading, which is a bit different. Although Sheldon scale they use, see the Sheldon scale has numbers, the Australian grading does not. And usually very fine in Sheldon scale is a fine here, so that does confuse people. Then you got some other banknotes as well. Now, do I like these banknotes? I think they're actually quite boring. They're all the same design. On the other side, we have it does change, so the image on the reverse does change, but the obverse of the banknote is all pretty much the same. So I think they're missing the actual kiwi. Yeah. So anyway, hope this helps you with your New Zealand banknotes. Let me know which pre-decimal banknote you actually like. I personally like the New Zealand £50, only because it's expensive and hard to get. Thank you and goodbye.